Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hello.
Now it's, I think, according to my time zone, right now it's 3:01. So I want to just just sharing one mindfulness poem with you. So please, could I ask Raymond to share the PPT, please? Okay, only a very short one. Since from the starting, we are talking about the mindfulness, and we practice at the beginning by purely breathing, because breathing is the most easiest thing in the world. So everybody needs breathing. Otherwise, we don't have life. We cannot exist in this world. But right now, we are going to move forward a little bit serious. Only by breathing cannot bring us any further. If we have to train our mind, then we need some technicals, or we need some tools. So the next part, we are going to practice mindfulness. But before that, I would like to share the poem written by a verbal Thich Nhat Hanh. And I remember when I learning the mindfulness, I think this poem gave me and guided me the importance of mindfulness. So you can see the screen here is that once we sit on our mat or sit on our chair, we imagine that we are sitting under a Bodhi tree. Since we are talking from last time about the 4 foundations of meditation, so first we erect our spine and we correct our position, and that's our body. That's very important because our body is mindfulness itself. And right now we are going to prepare. We are free from all distraction. So it's part and reflecting the 4 foundations of mindfulness. And sitting here, we're sitting under the Bodhi tree. And the picture you saw here actually is I took in Bodhi Gaya. That was not the original tree that Buddha sat under. The tree, the Bodhi tree that Buddha sat under, that was destroyed by a king's wife. And later on, they planted again. So right now it grows like this. So when we sit, we just like the Buddha, sit under the Bodhi tree. Okay. And what are we going to do is that, oh boy, so I'm going to have the next one, please. When we prepare our position, and right now we are going to do the breathing in. First, we practice the speed and we pay attention to the variation, to the changes of our breathing. So breathing in, our lungs can have more air, and then we can calm our body. And breathing out, and we are relaxed. So I smile. So breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. So the body is ready. Breathing is smooth and gentle and long. And the third one, please see the next slide. The third one, that I am dwelling at the present moment. And this is a very good moment for us because our body and our breathing are next. Remind of what about our thinking, our thought, or our feeling. It says here the feelings comes and go, just like the clouds in the windy sky. But our conscious breathing is my focal point, is my anchor. And that's a very short point from Thich Nhat Hanh. I think that's have the guides for us for each step we are going to move forward. Okay, so right now, let's have some very short exercise so that we can sit well and we can focus well. And before we do that, I would like to remind you our mindfulness practice. We are not counting the breathing anymore, but we move our attention to the breathing point. And where is our breathing point? And that's our nostrils. So we are going to feel, we have to observe and feel these area. That's what they call the triangle area. That's 2 nostrils and at the top tip of our lips. So 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 points we are focused. Of course, not the 3 points, but just the area, like a triangle. So we are going to pay attention to these areas. That's what they call the hitting point. So if we have to move forward, then we have to observe and experience the sensational feelings when the air hitting on this triangle area, and we just watch it and we recognize that, but we don't judge our feeling. Okay, so the following maybe 15 or 20 minutes, we are going to experience the sensational feeling. Of course, we are doing the breathing in and out at the same time, but we can pay our attention to the hitting point, the triangle area, to feel or to observe the air. When the air blows out or exhale, what does it look like? What does it feel like? So we are looking for one focal point. These the area for today's lesson. Okay, now we can have a little exercise about our neck. So ready? Move our neck to the left and to the right and back to center. Again, to left, right, center. Now, right to left. Slowly. One more time. Right to left. Okay, now we're hitting our arms. Use our right fist and hitting our left arms. Go back into our shoulder. Okay, we change the other side. Leg feet hitting first our shoulder and go down to our arms and to our fingers and back. Okay, now rotate our shoulder forward, backward, forward, backwards. Okay, right now I'm going to move back so you can see my feet movement. Okay, if you are sitting on your chair, please take off your shoes. If you are sitting on the ground, on the floor, I think you already have your shoes off. So let's practice our legs and our feet. Okay, now raise up your left foot and then your toes pointed ahead. And you move back, pointed to the ceiling. So pointed ahead, 1, pointed to the ceiling, 2. We do 5 times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Last time, 1, 2. Okay, a little bit sore, but it's okay. Now, our right foot up, raise it up, and point it ahead, point it to the ceiling, point it ahead to the ceiling, down, up, toes down, toes up. And one more time, toes down and toes up. Okay. Now, no matter you're sitting on the chair or sitting on the floor, we're going to twist our wrist. Okay. Left to right. Left to right. Left to right. And right to left. Right to left. Right to left. Okay, now we are going to prepare ourselves. So please, Raymond, could we have the 7 points of meditation in front of our computer? Okay, let's get ready. If you're sitting on a chair, you put your 2 feet on the ground and rock a little bit your body. And remember, our back is erected and our eyes gazing down, or you can gently close your eyes and your tongue behind your front teeth. Your shoulder relaxed and your position, mudra overlapping. Okay, if everyone is ready, one thing to remind you, today we are going to practice to observe or to feel the sensational feeling. Whenever we inhale or exhale, please try to feel when the air hit on our triangle area. That's the area down at our nostrils and up of our upper part of our lips. Still, we are breathing, but you can pay attention to the triangle area. Before we open our eyes, we rub our two hands until they are warm. Massage your eyes, your face, your ears. Rub in again. Your shoulder, arms, hands, then your stomach, your belly. Again, rub in your hands. Massage the back. your legs, your knees. Okay, now if you would like, then you can put on your shoes. If you feel comfortable to walk without your shoes, and it's okay. So let's have 3 minutes walking meditation. Remember, it's up to you. If you want a very brisk walking, then you can make it. If you like to have a very slow pace of motion, then you can do it. So let's get ready. Walking meditation. Slowly stand up. Straighten your upper body. Let's walk. Break time. Okay, everybody's back. Hello again. So we just finished the first section of sitting meditation. Today we tried a skill or the way to observe our feeling. That's we practice. We pay attention to our triangle area. That's the under the two nostrils and the upper tip of our lips. And I think everyone have practiced that. And of course, some of you may feel the warmth of the air or maybe even tickling on your lips. But no matter what the answer are, that's only the process. Just to remind you, you have that kind of focal point so that you can observe very easily. And later on, we are going to do part by part. That's what we call the insight meditation. And the word is vipassana. And that's insight because just observing the changing of the air or the changing of our feeling and even the changing of our thoughts, then we can be more aware of ourselves. And by practicing of these, then of course we can be aware and be alert to ourselves. And then we will arise more empathy to the other people. That's what we call cultivating compassion. And with that, the benefits of taking meditation will be shown. So that's our process. And today our class will be continued by the other foundations of mindfulness. Last week, we talked about the first two foundations of mindfulness. That's our body and our feeling. That's why I ask everybody today to feel what kind of feeling is that, but not grasp your feeling or not attached to, oh, how can I feel the warmth, or I don't like the feeling, or I think it's very interesting. The most important thing we are learning is that we should be non-judgmental, and we should just acknowledge and know, but not grasp, not grasping whatever the thought we arise. And today we are going to talk about the mind and the Dharma. That's the third and the fourth foundation of mindfulness. And before that, I will have a test for you. Of course, I cannot hear you, or if you want to answer loud, then I can hear you. I have very simple question that's filled in. Okay, let's see. You can remember what did you learn about the previous class. Let's get to here. Just tell me, for this week, most of the time, are we mindful or we practicing mindfulness? This is a very cute picture that I took from the website. A little girl, it's a girl, right? Because it has long hair. She just observed what she saw. So, but so many times we are not attentionally, but sometimes we just neglect something around us. We can see the picture here. We are seeing 4 flowers, and that's the same thing. The little girl, very happy, maybe accompanied by her father, but her father may be too busy, and his mind is full of so many things. But the little girl here just had seeing 4 flowers, just see the picture. So usually we will ask ourselves, do we see things as they really are? Even though, yeah, they are 4 flowers and we are walking, but actually we are not mindful, because when we walk, maybe we are in a hurry, or when we even taking a walk, or maybe we are walking the dog. Most of the time, I saw people, they are very mindful for their dog, because sometimes their dogs will just get loose, or sometimes their dog saw the other dog and try to say hello to the other dog. So we are going to be trained, I hope, by the rest of the class. We can be more mindful so that we can have the foundations of learning the mindfulness. Okay, see, we have the sun, we have the flowers, so we just carry that all in our mind. And we have to drop off those things around us at the present moment. When we go out for a walk, we enjoy the sunshine. We enjoy the scenery. We enjoy looking at everyone's expression on their face. So that's living in the present moment. Okay, so let's go further. The test questions coming. Fill in, please. Fill in the 4 blanks. So let me remind you, for the previous class, the last class, we are talking about the body first, and then we talk about the feelings. We know that our body is not the whole body. The body is composed by so many parts. It's a physical form. And that's the sentences from the Buddha. It said, dwell contemplating, okay, the body in the body. We have to be clearly comprehending, and our mind is unified. And with concentrated, what kind of mind? One pointed, or what we call the focal or the focused mind. In order to know the body, it really is. So the same, when we talk about the feeling, we dwell contemplating the feeling in the feeling. And with one pointed mindfulness, then we can know the feeling it really is. When we talk about the feeling, of course, by touching, we know it's hot or cold. But whenever we put or we add more feelings about the pure feeling, and we arise our emotions. So in order to make it pure feeling or pure body parts, we have to be trained to concentrate with one pointed or one focused mind, so that we can let us be more alert and also be more detached with so many things around us. Even the body, we cannot say it's my body, because when we say my body, that means my body will be exist forever. But we know that we have to pass the recycle of sickness or agedness and even death. So the body really is not my body. The body is the body. And that's the body it really is. Okay, so everyone passed the test. Now let's go down to talk about our mind. Mind, you can be mindful or we can be mindful. But we have to recognize one thing, just like the body and feeling is not a single thing. It's a compartment, it's composed by so many things. So sometimes we say mind, or sometimes we use consciousness instead. Either mind or consciousness actually is in a succession of particular in sense of mind in the mind, just like the body in the body. We say mind or body is a term we usually use, but when we contemplate on parts of our body or parts of our feeling or parts of our mind, and we understand that it's not the single thing, is not isolated. They are be sensed, they are be moved by one gathering. So it says here, the body in body, feeling in feeling, or mind in mind. And the mind arises, or the consciousness of the mind arises from moment to moment. That means it's shifting. Just like our body, we are breathing. That every second we breathe is not the same. So that's the same thing in our mind, shifting of the thoughts. So from moment to moment. And we collect all the information coming to us from our six senses, from our seeing, what we heard, or what we feel, and it composed our mind and provide information to our consciousness. And that's why we have the feeling, we have the emotion. So that's what we talk about mind. And then the mind can just recognize when we take meditation, we pay attention to our thought, we pay attention to the sensational feeling, or we pay attention to changing of our mind. And that's a kind of training. So when we passing all the training, and we can really learn what is what they call remain present. To remain present, just we recognize, but we don't put much judgment. If we put our own judgment, then we have more arising emotion. And that's why we say we can feel, and we have the feeling, and we observe or see our flying thoughts when we take sitting meditation, but we don't grasp them. We just let them pass, just like the clouds in the sky, and just be present. No judgment, no grasping, no attachment, just observing. So if we want to do this, then of course we have to settle down our mind in one focal point or one pointed, and such as the rhythm of breathing. Just like I ask everyone at the beginning of the class, we try to experience the feeling of the air hitting on the triangle area, because that's the very easy point we can find in our skin or in our body. And also, if we want to get further, then we can concentrate on the sound that was occurring around us. So we are going to practice that later. But just let you know that our mind is not a single mind, just like the body. It receives so many information from the body and also from the emotion, from the feeling. But when we observe our mind, we just let ourselves to recognize, oh, that's a thought. And the thought is arising, and it stays a little bit while and it leaves. So every time when we realize that the mind has drifted away from its focal point, the mind here is that our focus mind, our one-pointed pure mind, one pointed attention. That's the pure mind. So when our mind see the arising thought, and we just let it arise and let it stay a while and let it go. So that's we treat our flying thought in our mind. So next time when you have so many thoughts together, it's okay. It's a natural thing when we starting our cleaning. So just let all our thoughts just drift away. Just let them go, but still we observe. So that's the practice of our mind. Okay. And that's the third foundation of mind, the mindfulness of mind. That's the important thing we have to know. And when we prepare for that, and we are not to be influenced during our meditation, we are prepared to our flying thoughts, to our acheness of our body. When we pay attention to our breathing or our sensational feeling, and that will let us have chances to observe more. And that's our mind working. And here, now let's talk about the Dharma. Why we talk about the Dharma? First of all, Dharma have multi-meaning in Sanskrit. It can say that something upholds or sustains a positive order. So it's a good word. The Dharma is a good word. Dharma can include a body, a person, or it can describe the right way of living. And of course, for Buddhism, we say Dharma is the Buddha's teachings. And Dharma is the phenomena, the environment around us. So if we learn from that, then we will think what's inside of me. I have a body, I have a physical form, and I have a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. And my mind is working all the day and night, even second by second. And what about my surroundings? What about me inside? How can I be aware? How can I learn to attain a little bit awakeness? So the 4 foundations of meditation bring us the whole picture of why and how we meditate. Why we practice meditation? We just, for someone, just you're sitting there idly and do nothing, and we can have benefits from meditation. So the 4 foundations give us the guidance, why and how, and the perspective we see the meditation. And the last one, to realize Dharma is very important. Sometimes we say it's very important for us to cultivate our compassion and wisdom. So by long term of practicing of meditation and with the mindfulness of the 4 foundations, of course, we can cultivate our compassion, and also by practicing the mindfulness of Dharma, we can advance our wisdom. So that's the importance of we practicing the mindfulness of Dharma. The Buddha, he himself was the great expert by self-experiencing. He himself just find the answer, not under control by the age or by the body. That was the root question after he saw the 4 sides from different gates of his country. And the root question is that, how can I just jump out of the cycle? Because when he asked the question, am I going to be old like that old man, to his chauffeur, to his attendant? And the attendant told him the truth. Oh yes, everyone will be the same. So the Dharma, the phenomenal, gave him a very deep thinking. He was afraid to become one of them. That's why he cut off his hair and ran away from his palace, even though he has a very happy family. So we say he was a truth seeker or reality researcher. And right now, we are stepping on his way to attain enlightenment, even though, of course, it will be a long, long way for us to become enlightened. But anyway, we are starting. We are starting to seek the truth. But before he attained enlightenment, the Buddha, we know he tried to search the answer, but the first answer he found is from outside of himself. That's why he was staying in the forest to practice a very cruel way to treat his own body. He was looking for his maker. The maker is the cause of his existence. And that's what later he called the builder of this house. This house is our body. And if we extend the meaning, this house is the world. It's the cycle of birth and death. And that's the maker. He wants to escape from the house. So that's why he was the seeker, he was the searcher, he was the finder, wants to find the way or the truth. And that's the Dharma. Dharma gives us a chance to ponder about everything. And that's why the Buddha said, don't believe everything I said. Before believing me, you test my words. So in meditation, the same. When we have doubts in ourselves, we look inside of us. We don't look outside. And that's why we have the Dharma as one of the foundations of mindfulness. And we all know when we look outside of ourselves, we see everyone has the same problem with us, right? We are subject to the cycle of birth, old age, sickness, and death. Our emotion is the same. We have love, we have sorrow, we have lamentation, and we have defilements. So who are going to answer the questions? We are not going to find outside because we are the builder of our house. The practice of mindfulness of Dharma just help us to understand that no one outside ourselves can free us from our own suffering. Even though we share the same suffering, we share the same defilements, but that's our own suffering. Even though we say the body is not really my body, but actually we have the same physical form. Since we have the same physical form and we share the same suffering, we share the emotion, the same emotion, so each of us are the future Buddha. We are taught we should train ourselves to free from our own suffering because there is no one can answer for us. That's why the Shakyamuni Buddha, before 2,500 years ago, sorry, he has to look himself for the truth, for the answer. Okay, and that's what we have for today. Let me see if we have any anyone left. I'm sorry. Anyone have any question? Let me check. Okay. I don't see. Okay, so let me see chat. Okay. I don't see any question in my chat box. So let's call it end this afternoon and wish you a very happy week ahead. By the way, next week we don't have class. So please come back next 2 weeks and I will see you then. Goodbye. And Buddha bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you all. 阿弥陀佛，谢谢师父吉祥，大家吉祥。
Thank you.
拜拜。